What's up, otakus? So yeah, my son had a sort of a spring, I guess you could call it like a recital concert, and it's leading up to his grad. He's graduating preschool. Will be his last year of preschool, and he will be entering kindergarten in the fall. So this was kind of like a concert they put on for parents. With the whole preschool, like from the little toddler or the little babies to the older kids like my son, and they just sing, they dance, and it's just a opportunity for parents to take pictures and just really appreciate how much uh, they've grown and developed over the last 3 years. So that was yesterday. And then today, my wife, with one of her friends, they just decided they'd go do something and have like a kiddie sleepover. So she stayed because one of her friends' husbands is, I think, out of town, and so she invited my wife over, and now my son and my wife are over there, just kind of hanging out and having a sleepover. And that left me to, kind of just like twiddle my thumbs. And I thought, well, I got $4. Why not head to Mill Geek and see what we could dig up? Yeah, I mean, we didn't pick up a lot, but we did pick up some good books. So I'm just going to go over what we picked up, and we'll go from there. Got one big kind of surprising key book that was in there. So again, it helps to dig. It's about a VF. It's a VF copy, but I don't know, with a good press. I mean, it's just got a couple spine ticks. I think you could get up. You could probably argue for a 9.4 on this one, and maybe a 9.2 or 9.4 on this one. But it's a really nice copy. So it could be a near mint minus, somewhere around there, but VF plus. So let's just go. So it's just it's 4 books. We only spent $2. So it's not like we picked up a lot of books. But again, I spent $2, and really any one of these books could be $2, but we got 4 books to show off. So we're gonna do that. And this is gonna. Hey, what's up, Kenneth? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining. We got actually. I normally would just do this, but I'm just so bored tonight. I think I'm just gonna keep, just talking and walking you through my process. I, don't get a lot of opportunities to kind of organize my books and stuff. It is somewhat organized. I have the bulk of what I'm collecting in my drawers in my filing cabinet, which I'll show off at some point again. But today, I just kind of compiled all my books here. I'm gonna just do so I got kind of all these books on the bottom here too. You can probably see got some books stacked down there. I am just gonna kind of organize stuff, and I'll walk you through my madness as we do that, and we'll talk about the books as I'm doing it. I'll kind of interact with you guys to see which box it should go in, or where it should ultimately end up. But yeah, we got a lot of books to go through. First, we're going to do my haul, and then we'll get to kind of organizing and putting books where they need to go. So the first book we got was Now I got Hulk 370. I think it's 376. I gotta check the number again. I got Hulk 376 over the summer, and that was a great newsstand cover, Dale Keown cover. Or sorry, not 370, 376. I think. No, it's 377. Okay, so this is the book I got um, over the summer, a newsstand copy. And I always liked Dale Keown's art on Incredible Hulk. In fact, I had a couple issues. One which when I got back into collecting, I just kind of sold away. I did get, the Mark Silvestri Ex Crucifixion book out of that, out of that, sale because I sold it to a shop. But I sold a bunch of '90s books that were like originally in my collection, and one of those books was uh, Incredible Hulk 400, where it's like it's like a homage of Hulk 1, but it's like a holofoil cover, cardstock holofoil cover. Beautiful '90s book. Um, and I just like, why did I get rid of that book? I love that cover. I did like that book. So things like that. It's just like you kind of make decisions thinking, oh, that book isn't worth anything, and then later down the line, you're like, I had that book, and why did I get rid of it? It's kind of like you kind of run into those phases. But definitely, if I could go back, I would just buy the Silvestri book, and I would have kept all my books. But it is what it is. I can't, cry over spilt milk. But there is a great cover in this Keown run from the '90s that I got to add today, and that's Incredible Hulk 379. This is a high grade copy too, but look at that. Look at that. And you have the reflection of these different like gray, green banner, and all these like Hulks in the trade dress there. But just a beautiful Keown cover. The Green Hulk. It's a Green Hulk. And he also got, it's like the direct edition little UPC, illustration in there as well. So that's just a really cool cover. I mean, this is just nothing but a cover buy for 50 cents. I thought that was worth adding to the collection. This one's a key book. So the rest of these are key books. And this one's pretty decent grade. I'd say, it's a VF plus copy. But what we have is Fantastic Four annual number 23. This is after Byrne's run, but we have a Byrne cover here on an annual. And this is the first appearance of this Dr. Ahab dude. That's him on the cover there. But again, just a nice Byrne cover. So, I love collecting Byrne Fantastic Four. And this is sort of, I guess, technically his last work on Fantastic Four. So it's a nice cover piece. So again, pick that up for 50 cents. Again, it's the first appearance of this Ahab character. I think he gets destroyed eventually, soon after this appearance. So it's not like he has a long storied history in comics. This next one, it's in rough shape. I'd put it in, like a fine plus. It's got some pretty steep spine ticks and some, spine wear. But all in all, there's just nothing outside of this, some spine damage. And we picked up Darth Vader #1. Now I do have Darth Vader #1, but I have the Star Wars action figure variant, which is cool. That's the cover I wanted. It's I think it's John Tyler Christopher, the action cover variants. Very cool cover. It's just basically like a kind of like if you were to buy a Darth Vader toy, it just has that like cutout and figure inside. But I also, like this cover, and this is sort of a volume one. This is when Marvel took over, started taking over the Star Wars titles. So this is technically, canon for Star Wars moving forward. This is the series that would introduce a lot of characters, including Dr. Aphra. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's like a close to a mid-grade book, I'd say, but key book, and it really presents really well. So like the little TLC, press down the road. Um, this would be a book I think that would have some traction, maybe way down the road. But it's the first appearance of Black Chrysanthemum, who caused a real. I think everybody liked Black Chrysanthemum when Boba Fett series was on. So I thought having a black Wookiee was pretty cool. A black bounty hunter Wookiee was pretty cool. So I'm sure they're going to do more with that character. I hope they do. I hope it's not a one and done. But that's the first appearance of Black Chrysanthemum there. Great cover. All right, and this is the book. This is the book of the haul. It's our last book. It's the book I was really surprised to have found. It's in great condition again. I think you could probably put it in the near mint category. And this book has been getting a lot of, I think it's trending right now because of the DC news. The DC Marvel crossover news. But this is sort of like one of the books you'd want to add. It's Batman Adventures style of Dark Claw. Now there's two Dark Claw adventures. There's Legends of Dark Claw, and then there's this one. They kind of came out around the same time. This is sort of DC's version, and then there's a Marvel's version. But this DC version is I think pretty cool. You have the again homage to Batman Adventures, and you get a representation of the sort of the yellow suit Wolverine Dark Claw kind of there. Got a newsstand copy at to boot, so really cool addition. This is I was just like, you're coming home with me. It's a $20 book. We picked it up for 50 cents. So all in all, just a really good haul for $2. And just picked up a lot of value for $2. And yeah, I mean, this is just pure nostalgia for those of us that were collecting in the 90s. That whole DC Marvel crossover was fun. They not only crossed over the characters, but they also melded them into this this amalgam line where you had characters with both traits. There's like a super soldier, Superman and Captain America. There's a Spider Boy, like Super Spider Boy or something, where there's Spider Boy and Spider Man get amalgamated. Or no, maybe they don't get. Maybe that's not a series. But there's one with like Punisher and Wonder Woman. There's one with like X-Men and the Justice League. I think they call it JLX or something like that. There's just a lot of fun ones like that. And they even merged the villains. Hey, Miss Soul, what's up? So they even merged the villains. I think you had like Joker and who was it? Was it Joker and anyway, they amalgam the villains too. I got to look up who the villains were, but it was a lot of fun. But yeah, this is definitely a book that was kind of cool to pick up. Again, high grade copy, newsstand, Dark Claw Adventures #1. Really pleased with that. So all in all, yeah, it's been $2, but got a lot of value out of this haul. All right, so let me walk you through what we're gonna do. We've got a lot of books. I've got. I just want to organize everything because I, there are some books where like, yeah, this is like a book we love, and then we kind of put it, in a section or area, and then we realize, maybe that's not a book we love or want anymore, and I just kind of want to like go through and really kind of separate the ones that oh yeah, this is something I would prefer to keep versus something I would prefer to maybe sell or trade. So we've got a huge trade box here that's mostly full. It's huge. It's like really heavy. It's full of books, and if you want to see what most of these books are, these books are on a spreadsheet in the description. There's a link. You can go check out the Google Sheets of, it's just basically a spreadsheet of all these books, their condition, kind of what, in terms of the value I would want in a trade. But yeah, a lot of that is kind of intermixed with this, and a lot of there's a lot of keys and different books here. These books are, none of these are really like core collection books because they're not in the let me take that back. A bulk of these are core collection books, out of the middle drawer. They're like just like higher price keys, and then a lot of it is just including this like Dark Claw book, right? This Dark Claw book wouldn't necessarily be core collection stuff, but it's a cool key. So I'm just kind of trying to we're going to create sort of like a key section, where if it's like, oh, do we want to keep this or do we want to sell it? Like, this is probably something I would be open to selling. So we're just going to kind of put it in the key pile, versus like cover buy. I'm going to kind of separate things into cover buys. And these are things like more toward maybe what I'd want to keep, or more toward maybe like, why did I buy that? It was a cover buy, but now it's like not really something I'd want. There's also a lot of things by artists I collect that, there are keys and covers. So they're like cover buys, and then there are keys, and then there are cover by keys. Those are kind of like the upper echelon, and then there are the covers and cover by keys that by the artists I really collect. The ones I really like and collect. So there's just a lot of sort of randomness here, and I'm just trying to kind of like put them in like, okay, this is an important book or a special book, or this is not as special or important to me anymore. Now I am going to, if it's special and important to me, they're initially going to go in this little box here, right? And this is a makeshift short box. Very sturdy. I've been using this for quite a bit. So just going to put it in here, and we're just going to go through, and, I've got a lot of keys here. And if it's something that, if it's a key book, it doesn't necessarily would go in here. But what we're going to try to do, put in this, like this box is cover buys and keys, like key cover buys. And I hope that made sense. So we're just kind of like trying to separate stuff into like where it kind of checks all the boxes, right? It's an artist I like, it's a key, it's a cover buy, it's all the things. And yeah, like right off the bat, we've got a lot of great books in here, right? We've got first appearance of Billy Morales. We got Venom Lethal Protector #2. We've got Spider-Verse Part 4 and Part 5. And a cool Barry Windsor Smith, the last Marvel team up, Spider-Man X-Men. That's pretty cool. But it's a really beat up copy. So, like, I think a lot of these would they're going to fall into like maybe keys, but things we wouldn't mind trading or selling. So I'm just gonna, yeah, I mean, these are gonna have to go somewhere. I'm just gonna try to create some space here to really organize. All right, Alexa, alarm off. There we go. All right, so let's pull out some more stuff here just to create some space for us. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in in this box too. This is my trade sell box, right? Stuff that kind of I put it in there as a trade sell box, but this is something I probably want to keep. So it just helps to, I guess, kind of go through everything and just figure out what pile it should go in. And just kind of, I guess, we'll start with like, yeah, there's just so much goodness in here. It's kind of like we want to keep it all, but it's got to kind of be prioritized to like, kind of loose association versus, oh yeah, no, that's not going anywhere kind of association. So really got to trigger that in me for it to go into the short box that we're trying to fill. So we're focused on that first, I guess. So yeah, this is a good one. This is a good example. I think this is like a Wolverine's origin of Wolverine's yellow suit. That would just go in, I think, a key section there. So I'm just going to make that a key book. Silver Sable #1. That's a key book, but we're just not liking that one. Another key. Most of these, I guess I put in here because they are key books. I don't think this is a key, and I don't think this is a key. This is a key. The What If Wolverine, and this one, and the Cap that formed the Avengers. He did in the MCU. We got Gen X, the newsstand copy #1. So this is the key I'd want to keep, and so I gotta kind of put it somewhere off to the side. Although it wouldn't be necessarily a key and a cover and a. Is this all mail order? No. This is my collection here. It's what it's grown to. So, for example, this is a Michael Turner. I collect Michael Turner. It's not a key. It's just a pretty cool, half issue of this series called Fathom. So I'm just going to put that up here right now. Warlock #1. That's a key. I'll just put it there. A versus X. That is a key. And this is, I think, a book I will keep. Yeah, I'm going to keep this one because I think ultimately I like the cover. It's Jim Chung cover. It's really the first time you see this sort of concept of Avengers versus X-Men, which I would imagine was done purposefully by Marvel because they projected this to be a good. What am I doing here? That's a free one. Oh no, so I do have the #1 somewhere. This is just a free preview edition, so don't need to necessarily move that one. All right, here's one that's in our sort of sell pile. It's not really a key, and this is something very special. So this is one I'd want to keep. And so this is kind of what the purpose of this whole thing. It's like, what was it doing in that box? It should have been in my keep box. It's not worth anything, but it's got this incredible cover. It's definitely a cover buy. But it's definitely like a book that, it's a Mark Silvestri cover. It's he did a cover for Emerald City Comic Con, which today is the last day of the 2025 season. Hope if you're watching and you went to the con, let me know how it was. What's up, Mike? Yeah, he's Michael Turner is something special. Although everybody I know collects him, so if the young kids don't know, they'll eventually know. You just got to keep talking about him. Yeah, so this is a cool one. I think this is worth putting in the keep the artisan key and keep pile. This is like a Capullo, early Capullo cover. It's also Deadpool versus Cable. See, like this is a key, and this is something I would want to keep. So I'm gonna just create another little section here of like, it's like if I don't have to sell it, I won't. But if if you talk me into it, it's something I could potentially do. So I'm just gonna put those books over here somewhere, I guess. All right, this is a Bolin Flash book. Um, yeah, it's a great cover. Definitely worth keeping. But it's like of all the Bolin stuff, it's not like my favorite. I mean, it is great though. I love the fact that it's like this. The design is like he's running on this road, and it's got Flash there, and it's just Bolin kind of drawing him going fast and turning a corner right there. So maybe we'll keep it in this pile for now, just to kind of start filling it up and have diverting some of this traffic here. We got Scorched, Spawn, covered by Silvestri. We got his Batman. This is his first time working on Batman, and man, great to see that. Some of these Weapon X's, these are, I guess, just a good run. This generic comic book, Marvel No Frills. I figure those are things like they have value to somebody, but I'll just put them in the sort of the key section. All right, right now, I'm just gonna kind of separate the Silvestri stuff. We'll do some calculus on that. This is just a great cover, even though it's like $1 book. I'll just keep that kind of stuff in here. We definitely want to keep this like one-page insert for the 50th Legends of the Dark Knight. That's a keeper. Got some John Romita Jr. goodness here with some keys here. These are all key books. Number 1 issue. First appearance of, I think, it's the first appearance of I think it's the first appearance of like Cable as a kid. Doom 2099. That's a key book. That's going back in there, and then these X-Men books are keys. X-Men 21. Sort of like the Hickman stuff. Put it down there. I've got some Neil Adams stuff in here that will go back in my artist. This is a great cover by George Perez. That's a keeper right there. See, this is what I'm talking about. We find stuff like this, and this goes into my keeper box. Let's just keep that right there. Got some similarly great cover here. I think if it's a great cover, it'll just go in this cover box here. All this other stuff is like, there's another great Perez cover, man. Yeah, these are all going to. There's a Ross Andrew. That one's not as nice. These Perez books are nice, though. All right, we'll put that here. That's good stuff right there. Uh, Here's a great example of an artist we like, and it's a key book. It's Justice League International 23. Okay, so that will go in this box here. As well as, I think this has a key feature to it too. Chris Warren, first Batman Predator. Got some Transformers key books there. We'll keep that in there. G.I. Joe, we'll keep that in there. Got some ROM keys. I do want to keep this one though. I do think ROM is going to hit, and oh well, no, this is ROM Annual number 2. I think I need that one. It is a Bill Sienkiewicz cover though. What to do? Tell me, fam. Should I put this in the cover piece, or the? Yeah, wait, put it in the cover. That's just a cool long cover. All right, so we got some Conan stuff, Youngblood, Gen 13, some old annual stuff. Okay, I think we're gonna just start putting keys in here now. So, great cover, but I'm just gonna put it in the key section here. These are also just books not really feeling, so we'll just keep stuffing them in here. This is Key and Michael Turner goodness right there. Boom. That is a keeper. So yeah, that's going to go in the keeper pile. I think we have 2 copies of those. So we got a bunch of Marvel Ages. Okay. And they're just it's not like I collect. I think I said this in previous streams, but if I had just all the space in the world, I would collect Marvel Age, hands down. This was just one of those things it was really cheap, although it did get pricier as it moved along. It was like a quarter, right? And I think a lot of shops just gave Marvel Age away, but you would pick up a Marvel Age, it'd give you a preview of what's to come, and just kind of give you all this like roundup of like Marvel news and like their cool articles and interviews and stuff in there. So it was just a really like I just have a lot of great memories reading the Marvel. It was kind of like Wizard Magazine before Wizard Magazine was a thing. It was like the '80s version of Wizard, or the Marvel, I guess, version of Wizard. But you got all these like awesome like covers. Look at that, like some Dave Cockrum, David Mazzucchelli, more John Byrne here coming up with the villains. Namor, John Byrne, and RoboCop, and a bunch of other like cool 90s stuff there. So, these are all, I think the John Byrne's Marvel Age stuff, some of these cool covers are going to go. In fact, if you're going to just keep all of that, might as well just keep the whole Marvel Age thing together. So, yeah, I got Marvel Age 1, Marvel Age Annual 1, and all these cool Marvel Age covers. Those are staying. We got John Byrne Cap. We got a Cap Wolf. That's just the key. I'm going to put the Cap Wolf in the key pile and keep all the John Byrne stuff together. Now, Battlestar Galactica, I'm going to put in the key pile, even though it's a book I like. So the key pile's got good stuff in it too. I don't want to like diminish what's going in the key pile, but definitely, like all this Byrne stuff, we want to prioritize like the box for stuff like that. I am kind of torn on these. I kind of wanted to collect these Marvel Milestone editions. They're just cool, reprints of classic books. But that's just like another rabbit hole that I don't want to fall out of. And so it's just like, what's the point of? I guess I do like this giant size X-Men because I don't have a giant size X-Men other than the classic X-Men 1. And I do have a fantastic. I guess I'll just keep these. These are like kind of like I'll never own these books, right? Well, I don't want to say never on the giant size, but um, X-Men 1, Fantastic Four, unless I get like really and then decide to invest in books, it's not something I'm gonna really have an opportunity to own it, I don't think. So I'll just put those in this separate kind of pile here. All right. Continuing on. So we got to figure out. Let's just keep all the Michael Turner stuff together too. So we've got Fathom. We've got this great Fantastic Four cover by Turner. Those will go in here. We got this great Thing cover by Adam Kubert. And yeah, that's a keeper. Keep the Thing cover there. More, yeah, all the Turner stuff is just excellent. So I'm going to keep that together. All right, keep moving on here. More Turner stuff. I'll show them as a. There you go. Beautiful stuff. That Flash Superman base cover is also. This is that is just freaking. So this is a book that, well, it's a key, and it's also just an incredible cover by an artist we love. So that's kind of like the sweet spot right there. It's the kind of stuff we want to uncover, and this is a book we probably want to separate and keep in a more special pile because it hits all the right buttons there. This is another great cover. It's Mazzucchelli cover. Jeez, is that? Yeah, David Mazzucchelli is fast rising in the ranks again because he's reminding me, like, I don't think I appreciated his artwork growing up, but man, is this stuff, revisiting his stuff, reinforcing how incredible an artist he is. All right, we got Michael Turner's first cover. Got 2 copies of that and his first published artwork in there. That will go in this box. Boy, this box is filling up fast. We got another great Green Lantern cover, more Turner stuff. It's filling up fast. I think it actually came out of the box. I'm just putting stuff back in where I found them, essentially. All right, we got some Dark Knights keys. Nights in terms of NIT, like the evening, dark evenings. So that'll all stay together. We got this cool first appearance of Chinese Superman. How cool is that? I was excited to pick up the first Chinese Superman. That was pretty cool. All right, some of these DC ones I am saving for my trade with Josh. So I'm just gonna put that over here in this ladder section. Trade in this Green Arrow key, Green Arrow number 1, first solo series of the Green Arrow. That book will be will shoot up like crazy once Green Arrow makes his DCEU debut. We've got a bunch of Spider-Man books. Hit me up if you want these Spider-Man books. I got a bunch of Spider-Man books that I'm willing to trade. A lot of these are keys, or cool covers, and there's a Daredevil key in here as well. All right, the key boxes are filling up pretty quick. All right, now the other thing I need to do is, man. So we'll just go in the key box. It'll go in the special key box, so I'm just going to put it in this section here. The stuff like kind of we want to keep, but you know, it's open to it's open to debate. Like this is like something I picked up because I thought it was really cool. It's Miles and homage to Todd's, but then like as time goes on, I'm just like, why did I pick this up? It's not like I know this artist or anything. This is another example of like nostalgia buy, and I think it's still cool. It's like the first appearance of Wing Gundam. Wing Gundam was one of the best Gundam series of all time, hands down. But it's like I don't know, it's a Viz Comics thing, so I do like the art though of this. It's a cool cover. All right, we're gonna put it in the cover pile for now. We got a nice DNA cover that'll go in the cover pile. Illuminati, Batman stuff. Avengers covered by Perez that I don't particularly care too much for. Usagi Yojimbo. Art Adams cover, key. Joe Madureira, 90s books. Here's a War Machine #1. That we'll put in the special keys cover. Just put that in there. I got a bunch of Jim Lee doubles in here too. So, all right. See you, Mike. All right, Miss So. Yeah, I'm just, organizing stuff. Here's a great example of like keys, like cable #1, Sabretooth #1. This is going to go in the key box here. Books I do want to keep, but if you want to buy them at the same time, it's not like I want to keep them they're mostly just for sentimental value, right? I'm not too keen on keeping them. This is another example. I guess I'll put it in the trade or the key box here. Key box is full. Yeah, these are all keys I don't mind selling. So when we put away stuff here, we'll have more room for like I have these things, and I'll be able to just start putting stuff to fill. Like I have these like little bags here, and what I'll eventually end up doing is like keeping the ones that have a little bit more, I think, long-term value to my collection or things I don't really want to keep, and sorting them into this. So, for example, that Marvel Age, all that Marvel Age stuff could go into this, to the black. This one has a sticker on it. All right, we'll keep that in there. A lot of these are just like. Okay, so let's start making a little pile here to put back into. Is this it? Okay. So yeah, this is a great example of we're going to put stuff in here. And this is stuff we don't necessarily access all that much, but it is stuff we want to keep protected, and like books we want, kind of more important books. And so like I was keeping this Star Trek in there. I was keeping this Beavis and Butthead Newsstand #1 in there. That'll probably stay in there. This is a reprint of The Watchmen #1. I think it's a second print. That's definitely a keeper there, since I don't know when I'm going to own Watchmen #1. It's a book I do want to keep. Moon Knight #3. That probably doesn't need to be in there. But it is a nice cover. All right, so I'm going to just put in my cover box for now. It's just a beautiful cover. Sienkiewicz cover. Hawkeye #1. That's just a cool key. Wolverine. Marvel Comics presents Wolverine #1. That's a key book. These are nice keys here. Venom Lethal Protector 4 and 5. First appearance of the Next Generation. Excalibur 1. These are all like kind of cool key books. So let's see here. The Star Trek book we'll take out. That's a key book we want to keep. Key book we want to keep. Key book we want to keep. Keep. All of these are pretty cool books we want to keep. So we're going to just kind of put these back in here. And the Star Trek, I don't know. It's like, I don't mind having that in my collection, to be honest. It is a great photo cover of Kirk and Spock, but it's just so beat up. It's like a future pressing project. I think we could ultimately get this thing looking really nice once we press it, but as is just like beat to hell right now. So yeah, we'll just keep this in the kind of like the to sort pile. What's happening here though is like the stuff I want to like kind of keep and is dwindling, and the stuff I want to kind of sell and trade or I just don't care too much about now is like growing. So that's the trade-off here. It's like as I'm organizing, it's not like I'm diverting stuff that I didn't want to stuff I want. It's more like stuff I used to want to stuff I don't really care for all that much anymore. So that's kind of what we're doing here. That's a Peach Momoko key book. I will put it in the key box for now. I'll put this awesome Rocketeer cover here because it's all about covers. Although, wait, I gotta go through there and sift out. Here is Frank Miller cover, Mark Silvestri cover. These are obviously all cover-related stuff. Green Lantern key. This is a Bolin cover and key. That's one we'll keep. This Green Lantern key, I sold it and I got it back in my collection, but I'm going to keep it in the key pile for now. Stan Lee's Batman Joe Kubert one. That's a cool book. We'll keep it in the key cover pile for now. These are keepers. These some of these are keepers. Okay, so we got the first Silvestri's first work for Marvel here. That is a keeper. We got a Bill Sienkiewicz cover from Daredevil. We got the first Daredevil Wolverine meetup. That's a key. All right, for now, we're just going to kind of shove them in this box and then do some more organizing later. All right, I'm going to put you over here. Like that. All right, boy, it's like I've got all these Jim Lee books here. Kind of got to take stuff out now. Divert it to a different box or something. I guess we can. There's good stuff in here. So like, 2 copies of that out. We'll just keep all the Deathwing Black. First appearance of Gen 13. It's a key. And it's Jim Lee. So, I mean, why would I want to sell off stuff like that? No, we'll keep it. This is another just cool cover and key. We'll keep that. Oh, we've got more Mark Silvestri stuff that we should probably keep. It's a key and a first issue. If we have that, might as well keep all of these separate. Those back there. All these Jim Lee doubles will just keep. Spawn. Got all these Spawn books. Geez, somebody, if you love Spawn, just send me a now this is a trending book. It's a high grade copy of Spawn 5, the newsstand. Yeah, we'll keep this one. We'll keep that one. Some of these other ones, most of these are Todd covers. Here's another early Silvestri X-Men. It's X-Men versus the Avengers. This is technically the first AVX right there. Keep that one. I'll keep these Spawn books in here. What else we got? We got some Superman books here. Superman key books in here. Those ones we'll keep. Let's kind of divert them for now. Take them out. Here's the Max book, Max number 1. That's just a cool key. I'll keep that one. We got a lot of key books here. John Byrne stuff here. Deadpool keys. Right, that stuff we'll just kind of keep there. Just gonna get it like a little pile going for insert stuff. So we'll keep the Dark Claw in here. We'll keep Darth Vader down here. Fantastic Four we'll keep separate. Incredible Hulk we'll keep down here too. All right. All right, here's some key stuff. All right, so I think I can just start first Jay Lee. That's a key. Just a great Frank Cho Wonder Woman cover. We'll put in the it's a key and a Cho, so we'll put that key in cover. These are all sort of key cover books. So we'll keep all of these ones. This one is not. Keep that one out. Put that here. Okay. Yeah, it's beautiful. George Perez stuff in there. This in their cover. Artist box. All right. Well, we got some organizing done here a little bit. Just kind of diverted from one position to the next. You're able to divert some stuff here, some more burn stuff in here. Put it there and we'll organize that in a bit. All right. Well, we're closer. Got some Alex Ross stuff here. That's all goodness right there. All cover goodness right there. Yep. Another Frank Cho cover and key. Another Wildcats. Boy, we got a lot of the cover stuff here. We got to kind of make a. I think that's worth keeping. These are Ross keys for the most part. Yeah, we got some overflow on the cover artists and keys here. I'm just going to keep that in there for now. Here's first Travis Share. I want to keep that as key. This Capullo Batman. Yeah, I love this cover, but we can just keep it in this nuns. Yeah, doesn't have to be underneath. I love that. I love that cover. Well, you know what? Let's keep it as part of our cover stuff. All this ball and stuff in here. All right. Well, that's stuff we want to keep too. Yeah. I think I need to put my artist stuff in the big box and kind of shift it. That's, I think, what I need to do because this box, this box isn't going to handle most of my stuff either. It's a dilemma. It is a dilemma. Now we are putting together the kind of piles for that one goes over there for now. All right, we're going to focus on filling this up here. All right, so we've got everything that's not essential in this box here now, the big box. And it's full for the most part. So we can add a little bit more stuff. But essentially what's down here in front of me that I've been kind of compiling are books that are not like terribly important books. Well, as I say that, I love this book right here, Ren and Stimpy #1, the Wizard edition, or it's it's #1. Gonna take that out. Keep that. That's a keeper right there. That's a '90s book. I didn't read Ren and Stimpy, but I watched Ren and Stimpy. And so anybody who's watched Ren and Stimpy, I don't know, maybe you're a Captain Underpants fan, but the original Nickelodeon, Nickelodeon cartoon that was the hit cartoon was Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy will always be better than Captain Underpants, I feel like. Nothing against Captain Underpants. Captain Underpants is great, but it's like, yeah, I mean, what's funnier? A chihuahua and a cat versus like underwater aquatic creatures? No contest, man. All right, so let's see here. These are all like key important books here, but I do want to separate them between great cover art and not. And this Aliens Simon Bisley cover is great cover art, so I'm going to keep that there. All right, so we'll get a little pile going here with the stuff that's great cover art versus not. So Jay Lee, Dark Claw. This Spawn, as much as I hate to say it, this Spawn is great cover art. So keep all that stuff right there. So all this other stuff here, these are just keys. Sam Keith, Jay Lee, first Dark Claw. So these all can kind of go, I guess, in the keys that we want to keep pile, which is fine. And that'll be that. All right. I was at Mill Geek today, and Russ and I had a really great conversation. But he's really worried about the comic book industry. And I got to admit, I share his concern. Not from a collecting standpoint. I think collecting ultimately will depend on how well the economy is doing. Meaning, if people don't have jobs or people are earning less, if companies are laying people off, and again, there's a dearth in opportunities, it's just going to impact the industry as a whole. You're just not going to have as much revenue being spent, or I should say, income being spent on comic books, and it's going to impact revenue at some of these companies. And you'll just see a recession. I mean, literally, that's what recession is, right? Just people spending less, people not having as much money. Now, but the concern is like, are we going to how what's the extent of that recession? Is it going to be a full-on depression? In that instance, it's like comic books will burn this shit just to stay warm, kind of like scenario. So that's kind of what like Russ was like alluding to. He's like, we're not in a good place with comic books because the majority of these comic books are printed in Canada, and they're also printed on Canadian wood products, paper essentially, which is cheaper than American paper. So we get a lot of the paper and the comic books from Canada. Now there's tariffs, and that just means we have to pay more now, or these companies have to cut their margins just to keep the books at the same price and their operations in tow. So yeah, it's going to impact us essentially. And he's saying like nobody's going to be buying new comic books, and that'll eventually impact back issue bins, and then soon nobody will be want to buy back issue bins because they don't have money to buy back issue bins. And that's, I think we're kind of already there. I mean, compared to what I was spending on comic books all last year to this year, I just have not been focused on getting stuff. All right, well, Josh, if you're watching this on the rewind, these are a lot of the books that I have for you, potentially for trade. These are all Batman keys for the most part. Got some Batman Adventure stuff here, newsstand. This is really high grade. This 90s newsstand is, I would say, triple of what the regular key is worth. We got this. 700. I love this Fabok cover. It's just got to go in my cover by stuff. Bane breaking Batman's back. Batman 500. You got Batman black and white. Let's see what's in here. Superman 1. Keep all that stuff. I think I'm willing to trade all this stuff to Josh if he wants to get, if he's wanting to keep Batman, he's wanting Batman stuff, that's what I should say. All right, all this stuff will just go. This is all Batman, right? Yeah, this is all Batman. This Finch cover is great too. This one, but I don't know. Just something about Finch's art. It just like I'm not that. It's just off a little bit. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't appeal to me for whatever reasons. All right, so these are all like Batman keys. Available for sale and trade. So if you like Batman stuff and you just want to offer me, saw something in there that you like and you want to offer me something with a whole lot, I will literally trade this whole lot for any of the books I'm looking for. So if you need this Batman keys or stuff from the 90s, some modern keys, hit me up. A lot of milestone issues and small key issues in this one. All right. That is that. Let's see if we can add any more Batman stuff to this. Let's see. Got more Batman keys in here. Here's a Batman. It's not a key, but it's a Batman issue. That in there. Any other Batman stuff in here? Got that Arkham Asylum thing there. Yeah, I can pull that out, I guess. Let's keep that in here. I'll put some of the Dark Knight stuff in here. Put this Dark Knight's metal in here. That will be our last book from this Batman. Well, doesn't want to fit in there, so we'll just keep it out for now. So another small Batman book we can shove in here. Ah, yes. That's a perfect book for that to fit in here. Fit in there perfectly. There we go. I've always wanted to keep that cover. It's just one of my favorite covers. Dark Knight Returns cover, #1 cover. All right, let's see if you'll shut now. I think we're good here. There we go. All right, so we got our Batman. Batman's ready to go. These are just keys, right? These are key issues, so we'll put Ren and Stimpy in here. That's the key. Superman, we'll put it separately. Let's see anything in here. I'm so happy I have these like Valiant signature books. That's just so cool. Got a lot of like cool signature books now. I feel like I should do a video on that. Dan Jurgens. That's a big book. That's trending right now. This is a book that, it's a book I will always cherish. That is Classic X-Men 1. I'll always cherish this book. It's just fantastic cover art, first off, but it's the reprint of, it's got the sides. It's just my childhood right there. It's what got me into X-Men. So got a Capullo signature right there on his, technically, I think his second book for Spawn. A lot of good stuff right there. Ah, man. Love this Fantastic Four, Fantastic Four run. That's just Flat out goodness right there. All right, so got all these books here. You can put some keys back in here. What can we put in here? Let's see. Yeah, let's put the Darth Vader book in here. Darth Vader is an important key book to keep. Let's go and put in War Machine. Let's put War Machine in here. There we go. War Machine going there. No, I feel like War Machine needs to stay out. Not like his first appearance, just his. It is a cool cover, though. I feel like stuff that's legitimately key stuff should go in here. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of legitimately key stuff. Those are Jim Lee doubles. These are all minor keys. Most of these are just minor keys. So I'm seeing what could potentially translate from minor to major key. Kind of what we want to keep. I guess keep this Green Lantern. This is the major book here. I'll keep it. We'll keep it in this key box here. Put one more book. Put one more book in here and we'll be done, I think. Ah, yes. We'll put Battlestar Galactica in here. Why not? That's a big key. It'll be a big key someday. Just not today, but they're gonna, Battlestar Galactica, I feel like is one of those things every generation or two will get something related to that. All right, these are the 25th anniversary covers. I just want to kind of go through and see what else is in here. I haven't looked through this in a while. I think these are all just anniversary covers. If that's the case, then yeah. What is this? Anniversary stuff. No, we got some Secret Wars in here. We got some Transformers. Okay. But here's the Dark Claw. All right, let's take this Dark Claw out and reunite it with another Dark Claw book. This is all stuff we want. I'd like to keep. It's good stuff right here. The 25th anniversary. Now, I do collect 25th anniversary covers. It's been a challenge because like the Ewok books, the Muppet Baby books, the Heathcliff books, they just never pop up. They never pop up. I just feel like, these Marvel covers are things that most collectors collect. Like, if you don't, I think no one has the full run, first off, but it's also something that like people in the back of their back of their minds wants to complete. Kind of like me, I guess, like I would love to finish this 25th anniversary collection, but it's just like some of the books in this thing are just like next to impossible to pick up. So I'm kind of losing patience, or I've just given up. I mean, I don't look for it anymore. And I'll pick up a sporadic issue here and there, but it's not like I'm focused on it. So it's just kind of one of those things. Just like, hey, Young, what's up? Shame what happened to BSG due to Lucas not handling competition. Yeah. Yeah, it is a shame, you know. The state of again, like it's just uh I think a lot of us are in the who are hobbyists are just, we collect these things because we not necessarily for to make money or do anything like that. There is an aspect of this hobby that's kind of speculative, right? Like we want to focus on books that are trending, not that books that are. I think a majority of us try to collect stuff that like that's in the kind of public sphere of things. Then there are those of us that are just complete, like just whatever, like you'll pick up whatever. Like if it's you're a completionist, right? You just want to kind of collect anything and everything. Um, so there's just a wide variety of people and collections. But I think one thing is certain: it's like when times get tough, we either dive deeper into stuff like this or we cut it out altogether. And I can't speak to where I am right now. Um, I figure I'm gonna keep my collection no matter what, no matter how hard times get. But at the same time, it's like it's hard to justify spending money on like hundreds of dollars on these books when just the market for those books aren't there anymore. You know what I mean? Well, my cat's telling me to be quiet, I guess. I know, mommy's not here. She's missing mommy. All right, so we got all these like nice. I think I can fit more George Perez books in here because that's what this is just all like War of the Gods and Tales of the Teen Titans and New Teen Titans stuff. See there? These are all key books, all beautiful George Perez books. So I'm just going to add, this is actually, I'm very glad I opened this one because we can add more books to this section. Let me know your thoughts on how the economy impacts collectors. Do you think it's one of those hobbies where really it's one of those like fair weather hobbies where like even in a down cycle, people will still be collecting, people will still be buying books? Or do you think has a huge impact on what people collect and what the industry? I know it has a huge impact on businesses, local comic book shops, but you know what I mean? It's like at some point, you got all these people buying books and stuff, which is good for the hobby, but at some point there's a breaking point for all of us, right? And so if we have to put food on the table, if it's difficult to put your kids through school and all that, it's like something you have to prioritize essentially. What's going on? My cat's like, yeah, mommy's not coming. There you go. Maybe she was crying for food. You got food. I'm just gonna go check on her real quick. I don't like. Yeah, she was just yowling for food. Spoiled little brat. All right, these George Perez books will go in. We'll join the George Perez section here. That's perfect. Boy, that worked out good. All right. Let's now put these books over here. Yeah, comic book shops, I think, have to stay healthy. And unfortunately, with how digital things have gotten, uh, people want convenience over, you know what I mean? Like, there's something therapeutic about digging through a long box of books. Um, and I think, comic book shops, they need to, uh, accommodate that collector. I was at a shop, they had a dollar bin, but they were more about you have to order books from us and have a pull list and all this for us to acknowledge you as a customer. And it was like he was the worst owner I've ever met. The guy was just a real you know expletive when I walked into his shop, and I didn't want to shop there or give him my business. Um, but he was focused. He was more focused on like toys and doing other things and stuff, which is fine. But like you can't discriminate against collectors who actually collect comic books, not anything else, right? It's not like I'm into toys or cards and all that stuff. It's like I'm a comic book collector, and you want to market yourself as a comic book shop, and you need to kind of like understand your market. That was not a good idea because I basically, I basically didn't. This thing was fine as is. I should have just kept it. I think if I take this book out, it should be fine. Let's put this one back in. Ooh, careful. Yeah, see, it's like the way the comic book business is set up. Um, it really is a risk for small retailers. The distributors and the publishers are the ones making all this money. I think DC needs to find a way to simplify the order and distribution process, because it's not helping anybody right now. It's not helping that these operations are going bankrupt and then also taking businesses with them, and then ultimately it's us fans the collectors that suffer because we don't get to read the books we want, and it raises the prices on the books we want to read and collect. So I'm sure there's a solution. It's just kind of like the health system. It's like there's a solution, but none of these companies, as long as people want to pay the prices, it's like they're not going to undercut their profits, unfortunately, right? Um, until it actually really starts hurting them, starts hurting the bottom line. And I think that's what's going to happen here soon. You're just going to get a bunch of people who, an entire generation of people who just won't care about comic books, and it'll just end up being um, a dead hobby. All right, I think that's as good as I'm gonna get with these little these thingies. I've pretty much filled them up. I got 4 of them here, so I'll just put them back on my shelf, and we'll continue on. Ultimately, we are organizing stuff, so that's good. Just give me a moment here. Put that in there. One thing I think, and this is, I think, related to what's driving the comic book business, and it's a key part. And it's like influencers, our community, this YouTube community is what I'm talking about. This YouTube community is a big driver of demand and business in this hobby. Because, I mean, say what you will about like Comic Tom, say what you will about some of these like larger channels, but they can create buzz, they can create real buzz. And we're so digital now. It's like if they talk about a book or spark demand on a book, people are dropping like hundreds of dollars on something they think is like, they, not that it's a FOMO buy, but it's like they want it, right? So it creates this sort of buzz in the community, buzz in the market, and then it just drives people to buy stuff really without thinking, and that's fine. That's always been sort of the case in whatever hobby, collectible hobby, or whatever. But I think it's exacerbated in the digital era, meaning these influencers, you enjoy their content, you follow them, and they become sort of the voice of the hobby and the community. So if they say, hey, this is hot, or this is going to explode, or collectors are buying this, the prices of this are going up, like you hear that and it's like, oh, okay, well, if I see it for 20 bucks, if it's a $50 book and I see it for 20 bucks, I'll pick it up for 20 bucks because it's something you're convinced to buy. And I tend not to be influenced in that sense, but at the same time, I don't live in a bubble either. It's like these things do filter through my head, and so I do pick up books that trend as well. So like I'm just saying, what my point is, like the influence. So no matter how bad business gets, I think that until people just turn off their phones or turn off the internet altogether, the community of collectors, the community of people who buy books and target on specific things or buy specific things, that will continue to exist and be healthy. It'll just the you'll just have people who can partake of it versus people who can't. But people who can't partake of it will just continue watching the content, continue being influenced. They just won't be able to buy books. But that marketplace, the online, and I'm talking YouTube is part of the online marketplace, right? It's like they're influencing, they're driving demand, and they're setting prices and all that. So that will continue to be healthy, even if the bubble. I mean, the bubble has burst. Let's admit it. Like the pandemic comic bubble burst, and now we're kind of getting another little burst of a bubble here in terms of prices. I think you're going to see them really fall off, especially for a lot of the modern books and the modern like covers and all that. There's a huge demand and people buying them, thinking they're like $20 books, $30 books. Well, at the end of the day, what you paid 20 bucks for, at a point in time doesn't necessarily ensure it's $20, $30 will maintain that value or retain that value. Because if no one wants to buy it or there's no market for it, then it's ultimately what you're willing to sell it for and what I'm willing to buy for it. So, yeah, and that's kind of where we are right now. It's like, what you spent $50 on like a variant cover that's a 1 in 300 like count publishing count, which there's no way to really verify about that as well. Well, that $50 book is, in the eyes of most people, in 2-3 years from now, will be like, no, that's a $3 book, if anything. It's like $1 book. So that's, Simpson shows good example. Typical comic book shop. We need to consider manga as a comic books because the idea. Yeah, manga's Japanese comic books. That's all it is. Manga's. And I read something really stupid in a Wizard magazine once. One of the editors of Wizard, this was back in the day, talking about like the 90s. But one of the editors was like, he just basically put the entire genre of manga, the entire genre of Japanese comic books, and he said it was not his cup of tea. Like he couldn't have read everything in the manga, but he just read maybe a few books, and he said manga was not it was a completely racist statement, or an ignorant statement. I shouldn't say racist. It was an ignorant statement. But he's basically saying the pace and the style of Japanese comics were different from American comics, and it wasn't something he was into. And that's, again, the dumbest thing I've ever heard. If he had taken time to read even like 2 or 3 really critically acclaimed manga books, he would realize, no, manga is like as good, if not better, than American comics. And you're just being a dipshit, basically, making statements like that. So, yeah, manga, people have this aversion to manga for whatever reasons, but it's like, go out and read something before you make that decision. Don't blanket like, oh, it's not Spider-Man, so I'm not going to read it. Read a couple of these books. I'm sure you'll be pleasantly surprised how incredible a lot of the manga content is. All right, so we got a bunch of keys here that that. Now, see, this is an example of a book. I have it sort of as this like treasured, but it's not a key. I just have it as like a treasured cover, but it's not a key. And I'm just wondering if I should just put it in my key cover box. Like these things. No, I want to keep it. Those eyes, those Psylocke eyes. This is why I love Peach Momoko, and I will, Peach Momoko will always be. I think she's going to go back in my top 10 artists at some point. I know she jumped out, but at the end of the day, looking at this stuff just makes me realize, like, no, she's one of my favorite artists for a reason. At least this cover is like making me, man, look how, that's just too good right there. That is too good. All right, so we need to do some of these like cover stuff organizing here. These are key covers. That's a key cover right there. Key covers right there. Peach Momoko goodness right there. This is wow, look at this. This is a trending book. How lucky were we to get that book signed in a newsstand? This is another cool book. Nice Kirby Thor, king size special Thor. That's a classic cover right there. Conan, giant size Conan. We got some Supergirl goodness here. Good night, Young. Good night. And what time is it? Oh yeah, it's late over there. Good night, Young. Get some sleep. Get some rest. We'll talk soon, okay? I love this cover right here. It's just got a bunch of Supergirl stories in here. Collection of key Supergirl stories in there. You got the Bride of Mxyzptlk. You got Battle of the Super Pets. Supergirl's Farewell to Earth. Just all kinds of Silver Age goodness right there. Rolled into one with the Neil Adams cover to boot. That is glorious goodness right there. All right, so boy, we just aren't getting what we wanted to accomplish out of this done yet. So we're getting close, but it still eludes us a little bit. All right, so it's 8:16. I'm going to do this for maybe another hour, and then we're going to call it quits. All right. Here's some more key books here. Those are key books. Those. This is trending now. Secret Wars. Alex Ross covers here. God Emperor Doom. That's good stuff right there. War of the Gods. #1. That's a keeper. Jim Lee goodness right here. I want to send a shout out to Fanboy Prime. My thoughts are with you, buddy. Thoughts are with you. Stay strong, buddy. Daredevil stuff is good. We've got DC Special. Look at that. All right, this is a key book, and it's a artist I love, but it does not have to be in a protective sleeve here. We can probably take this one out. Here. Go. All right, well, we gotta want to. I love this. Love that book. Love the Red Hulk. This Frank Cho booty cover too, but I think we could probably put in other books into that. Those are nice books, but probably put in some other books in there. Let's replace that. So look at here and see what pops. Ultimately, these two books are going to pop. So it is in here. Yeah, it's not going to fit in there, is it? There we go. It's going to fit. Nice. There we go. Nice. All right. Start up with Wolverine. I think that'll be a big book. And then we got First Lady Deathstrike. So those are key books right there. else we got? Put these. This will go here. All right. What else we got? These Mike Mignola books are great covers. It's DC Universe variant. That is cool. All right, but we're gonna put some other books in here and take these ones out. This one. I'm struggling here. What am I doing? Let's put those books in here. Yeah, that's what we can do. Got some Superman keys here. This Angela. Yeah, okay, that's what we'll do. We'll put this DC book sandwiched in between here. Superman book in there. And then we'll put that Justice League in here too. The hair goes in here, right? There it is. All right, we'll put that with the DC stuff here. Keep that. That in here. Keyboard section. All right, now what should we put in here? Ball and stuff we could put in there. Maybe. Marbles. Yeah. Let's put that over there. This Ross cover. Well, let's see what else we have. Secret Wars 1. It's Marvel. And is Marvel. No, we'll put this fun book in there. This fun book should be something or something at some point. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's a little better. Organized stuff. That's that. All right. That's good right there. Okay, I think for the most part, I am kind of done with the organizing part. Most of these books are like books I'm going to keep as keys, key cover books. This one can probably go back in this section here. Yeah. Some of these cover books are just cover box. Keys. Yeah, here's a great example. You know, these 90s Andy Kubert and Adam Kubert Gambit books. These are great covers, but they don't need to be in this little two other books in here in their stead. And I'll put these back in our Wolverine and X-Men collection. Yes, cover books. All right, what else can we put in their stead here? I think we can use books. Hey, what's up, Tyler? How you doing? Just organizing some books. How was your weekend? I did pick up a haul. Have the books around. I think I do have the books around here somewhere. No, I think I organized them already. But picked up some good value. I got a Dark Claw Adventures #1, which was pretty exciting. Gotta say, I was glad to pick up that book. Picked it up for 50 cents. It's a $20 book. Yeah, the Amalgam. It's just a fun book, you know. It's like I shouldn't say book. It was a fun period of comic book collecting. You had like DC and Marvel. It was really a reflection of like, dude, if we don't do something kind of cool and exciting, you know, it's kind of like because the comic book sales are just slowly dying. And that amalgam, not that it saved the comic book industry, but it at least kind of resuscitated some interest in some of the titles and stuff that was going on. So a cool like 90s event. But yeah, they kind of went deep and further with the amalgam stuff. So that's kind of cool. And again, we know there's a crossover project in the works. I'm sure they're going to be more thoughtful than, because to be honest, the amalgam stuff was just a lot of like it was fun, but it wasn't well planned out or thought through. It was just kind of like, I guess they said maybe sent out a questionnaire to fans, what would you want to see? And all the fans were like, oh yeah, like an amalgamation of Batman and Wolverine. It's like, I'm sure they'll be more thoughtful with whatever DC and Marvel plan for this second round of content, but it should be fun. So yeah, I'm just organizing stuff, kind of putting books here and there. I don't know. Should I keep this? Trying to think, like, because I tend to put like the bigger books in these like sort of thicker bags. They're not Mylar, but they're like just thicker bags. So they're bags within bags, essentially. And I just love this, like the Kubert brothers Gambit covers here. I think I'm just gonna keep them. It's not like I have anything better in terms of what could go in here. So these are great covers. So might as well keep them like that. Newsstand editions here. High grade. Love this Kubert cover, man. That's just one of the best X-Men covers from this period you'll see, hands down. It's just one of the best covers. I give my stamp of approval on that one. Let's see what else we got here. Alpha Flight #1. I love this book. This is a book from my original collection. No, sorry. This is a book I picked up during all the Boba Fett hype. Yeah, Boba Fett Wizard insert right there. That is a cool book. Then we got the first solo series Boba Fett right there. We got Return of the Jedi #1. Power Pack #1. This is one of my favorites. It's we got the Death Blow card and a Jay Lee back cover of Darker Image, and then we got this signed Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale Batman Madness book. That is cool. Nice signature book there. That was signed as they were promoting that book on Halloween, so that's pretty special. Yeah, here we go. Talking about the amalgam. This is what I'm talking about, right? The first DC. It's not the first, but it's the first in-story, like actual, like crossing over the universes, continuity crossover. Like all title, I should say, all all universe crossover. And I love how they kind of pair everybody up, so it kind of cues you into like who's paired up with who. It's like a mirror image. So they're not pairing up like Superman and Spider-Man. Instead, they've paired them up with the Hulk. And I think that's ultimately like the battle people want to see, right? But Hulk wouldn't stand a chance against Superman, so that's just my bias. Superman would wear him out, and that would be that. Remember, Superman doesn't need to eat. He eats for pleasure, not for sustenance. These are reprints, and I just gotta say, the reprints, they're nice. But they just don't, they don't satisfy fully the reprints, and really just a like great cover to look at. But that's all it is. It just doesn't feel like I own the real book because I don't own the real book. So I'm not a fan of collecting or just keeping a placeholder on the big books. It's like if you can't own the big book, then just too bad. Although I gotta say this John Romita art is fantastic. So just I guess getting a poster maybe. Actually, no, you can actually read this. So it's not like it's not a complete loss. It's like if you can't own the book, you might as well own the reprint. Next best thing, but it just doesn't hit the same when you own a reprint. That's a great Adam Kubert signature right there. It's Johnny Quest. Here's a book. It's a Lone Wolf and Cub. This is the translated version of the comic book. The manga, I should say. And this is a Frank Miller cover on a Kazuo Koike comic manga book. And the manga was, I think, developed based on the movie from the 60s, which was a huge hit in Japan. And it, I think, inspired a whole series of related books. But yeah, that movie is it's titled Lone Wolf and Cub too in the Japanese version. That is a must watch. It's like basically like a spaghetti western, but set in like feudal Japan, right? And so, yeah, just a lot of cool swordplay and violence, and yeah, good story. One of the best stories. So much good stuff here. Yeah, all these are keys. So we're gonna keep the keys in the key sections here. I'm not gonna mess with that too much. Here are some books that are kind of like in-betweeners. First off, man, we got two of these. First God Emperor Doom, two of them. So if you wanted to buy one or trade for one, hit me up with an offer. Got some DNA sign books, Speed Racer #1. The reason I have this book is I love Speed Racer. My son loves Speed Racer. That's Thor. All right, this Thor does not need to be in there. As great as the book is, you can replace that one. That will stay in there. That will stay in there. All these are got X-Men Adventures #1. Newsstand. High grade. Send me an offer if you want it. Cable card. Still polybagged. Gambit #1. That was a nice pickup right there. Tower Number 1. 2 copies of Spider-Man 13. All right, so those are all key books. I'm going to keep those in there. Here are some Peach Momoko and like different variant cover books. I'm probably going to send this these Peach Momoko Vampy books to my man Jeff. I don't even know if this is a Peach Momoko book. It just says Dynamite, but it looks like her. It's Peach Momoko though. Rad cover there. This is a cool book, to be honest. Like I bought this for half a cover back in the day, but it's the Yoda photo cover. That is nice, and we got the Peach Momoko Baby Grogu, so that's kind of nice. Got some John Boy Myers. Hopefully we can reconnect with him during AAPI Heritage Month. What else we got? Secret Wars 0. I mean, we picked up a lot of these Secret Wars ones with the great Alex Ross covers. I mean, these got a new appreciation for these ones. And a Jock Detective Comics. That's kind of cool. All right, well, that is pretty much. I kind of got things a little bit more organized, but I'm gonna spare you having to hang out with me and go through all this. But yeah, when we're done, we'll kind of do a little tour and show off my books from my phone, and we'll do a little otaku collection tour on maybe Friday, as soon as Friday or sometime. But I am going to be unboxing a book coming in the coming days, and we'll do that. Maybe I'll do it then. So thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.